Hey, what's going on everybody? Brock here from the Spice Esports, and just recently I was taking a look through Liquipedia and other sort of Counter-Strike forums, and I realized that, especially in North America, there are a lot of players who either find themselves without a team or without an organization. One big problem in North American Counter-Strike is that players are spread out so thin across so many different teams that it can be hard for a lot of new organizations or new people coming into the scene to really take notice of all of this talent that's in the region. So what I thought would be to kind of highlight a lot of these players and pretend that I'm a new organization coming into Counter-Strike for the first time and I want to pick up a team from North America without paying a cent on buyouts. So originally I was going to go through all of the players who are teamless or orgless, but honestly that would take forever. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go over the team that I would create personally, give a couple suggestions for some swap outs on the players, and then kind of explain myself. First, I should state that when I'm considering creating a team, I'm mostly going for the standard team composition that most Counter-Strike teams and organizations usually pick up. So consisting of an IGL, one Opper, and then 3 Riflers, and those Riflers usually split up between 1 or 2 star players and a support player in there as well. So the first role that we're going to take a look at is IGL, and honestly, I was pretty surprised on how many different North American players could fit this role that aren't currently on a team or anything. But at least in my opinion, there's one pretty clear-cut player that I think can be thrown into almost any team and either lead them to victory or at least increase their skill cap or skill ceiling pretty exponentially, and that would be Steel. Whether or not it's a good idea to really focus on the major, a lot of organizations do anyway. So if a new organization were to come in, but we're kind of put off by the idea of picking up Steel, who is banned, the only other player that I could think could come close to his sort of ability to lead a team would be FNS. The only other person I could think of over Steel or FNS would be Sean Gares, but I highly doubt he's going to be coming back to competitive play anytime soon. So I'm going to rule him as probably a third. So next we're going to take a look at the Oppers, and North America, I guess they're not really known for their amazing Oppers, but there are a few. In my opinion, the one that should be put on a team right now is Wardell. I'm kind of cheating a little bit because Wardell is still technically part of Ghost Gaming, even though Ghost isn't a team. So he does, I think, have a buyout right now, but I'm sure that within a few months he's probably going to be waiting out his contract. The buyout period will be gone, and then somebody can pick him up, mostly for free. But if we're going straight off of like right now, if an org was to come on right this second to pick up an Opper, the only person I could think of that could fit the role of Opper better than Wardell, or as equally close to Wardell as possible, would be JDM. So finally we're going to take a look at the Riflers for a team. So we already have the IGL, we already have the Opper, so now we need 3 more players, and these players are generally considered to be the Riflers for a team. So what happens when you're taking a look at Riflers is you usually try to break them into different kind of components. So the first is the star player role. This can either be 1 person, possibly 2. You don't really want to go more than 2 because then you kind of get a little top heavy for your team. And then you want either 1 support or kind of 1 support and 1 sort of consistent fragger or consistent player on the team. So what I went with was 1 star player, 1 consistent player, and then 1 support. So the support player and the kind of consistency aspect player, they could be switched. But right now I have the support player as Rush and the consistent player as Relics. And then I have the up-and-coming sort of young star player as Whippy. If you have any other players that you think I missed, throw them down in the comments. Thanks guys for watching. My name is Brock from the Spice Esports. Have a good day.